Well, hey there, welcome to Wired Up Retro. You're watching episode 57. And today's episode is all about the Hyperkin Ranger, which is a gamepad controller, single button gamepad controller designed to work on Atari 2600 consoles. I actually have my Sears Video Arcade on display at the moment with Dark Cavern plugged in. It's an M-Network game, a little bit of a maze shooter. So look forward to playing that in a little bit. Basically, this controller will work not only on the 2600 consoles, but also on the 7800 consoles. But it is limited. It's only one button, okay? So if you plugged it in and played Centipede, it'll work out great on your Atari 7800. But if you got a game like Desert Falcon or a game which requires two buttons, Planet Smashers or Alien Brigade, any of those games that require two buttons, it's not going to work well with. So in this episode today, after I do a little unboxing and a little mini review, I am going to show you how to upgrade it so you can use it on your Atari 7800 two-button games. And it's actually pretty simple and just requires a few things that you have to purchase. So yeah, that's really going to be the high point of this video, is the upgrade part. But right now, let's take a look at the unboxing I did a number of months ago. And then I'll also go over some of the features while doing some gameplay so you can get an idea of how I like it. All right, so let's have some fun. The Ranger has arrived. All right. Looks like it comes in a nice high quality box. It's good writing on the back. Oh, whoops. All right, so much for the packaging. Wow, look at that. Oh, like it. Got the nice paddle on the side. It's a little stiff. It's different than I thought it would be. It does have endpoints when you're turning it. There's one endpoint, and then all the way to the other side endpoint. Yeah, it's definitely a stiff paddle. You know, it's going to take two physical twists to get it to the end point. Actually, a little more than two twists. 2.5, really. Nice thumbstick. Good rubber on the top. That is really interesting. Take a close look at that. It's pretty awesome. There's my cat. It's just an emblem right there in the center. The Hyperkin. Oh, nice. So you can take that out, put it on the other side if you want. And I think that button allows you to switch. Yep. Switcheroo there. So right-handers can have some fun as well as left-handers, and right on the paddle as well. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Looks like I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. All right, then, let's get Dark Cavern rolling with the stick on the right side of the Ranger. Here we go. Ah. It's like Pac-Man for a shooting game fan. See if we can get him. Oh, I should have known better. Here, I'm definitely liking the thumbstick action. It's a lot of fun, definitely accurate. definitely have to adapt to a thumbstick. There's no doubt about it. In comparison to using the Atari 2600 joystick, there's a difference. Uh-oh, now he froze me. Oh. All right, let's see if we can get him. Robot on the run. There, we got him. Oh boy, that's not good. Froze me. Oh no. All right. Get up there. Oh, all right. Time for some kaboom. Let's give it a try. Now, one thing I have learned about the paddle is basically, I showed you those endpoints when I first bought it, but it's really not set that you have to go all the way to the endpoint to get to the other side of the screen. It's actually a small, narrow little zone that your paddle is going to control. So let me show you that. All right. This is where it gets rough. Oh. Oh. There we go. It works, and you know, on a game like Kaboom, I think it works very well. It's definitely sensitive. You're not having to go cranking it. Okay, it's a short little zone, and it's different. It's different than the actual Atari 2600 paddles in that regard. Also, there are some games, let's say Video Olympics, for instance. From what I understand, that was designed for paddle 2 to be the primary paddle instead of the primary paddle being paddle 1, like on this game. And this, unfortunately, will only work on games where paddle 1 is set up to be your primary paddle, like games like Kaboom. So I'm just letting you know up front, it's not going to be compatible with a few Atari 2600 paddle games. I will just add one little thing in here, and that is that you can buy a Duo adapter that's on eBay that works with the Hyperkin Rangers. Notice I said Rangers. You can plug 2 of them in, and that will basically enable you to join the 2 so you can play those certain games, Video Olympics, for instance, Pong Sports, and enjoy that game with a Ranger. But you have to have that for those certain games. All right, just wanted to throw that in there. All right, another thing I wanted to just experiment with is I'm going to switch it over from right stick to left stick and see if the paddle direction gets reversed. So I'm using the right hand. When I go clockwise, it goes right. Counterclockwise goes left. Now I'm going to hit that switch for right stick, switch it over here. And if you move the paddle to the other side, now my clockwise is going left and counterclockwise is going right. So I was able to switch up the direction the paddle goes just by hitting that RS and LS, right stick and left stick. That's interesting. Kind of neat, really. I'd rather have it this way, and then you have to bring it, there we go. Definitely cool. All right. So, all right, it's time for me to now give you an opportunity to upgrade your paddle. I want to show you how that's done so we can play some 7800 2-button games. All right, so right next to my Sears version of Atari 2600, I've got the Atari 7800 connected, and you're going to, firstly, you're going to purchase a product that's made by Aladdin. It's called the Seagull 78 adapter, and that's going to go into port 1 of your 7800. So once you've got that plugged in, by the way, this basically allows you to use Genesis controllers on your 7800 for 2-button support. So this is really the magical device that gets the 2-button compatibility you're looking for. So then you're going to be purchasing a splitter cable. This is a 9-pin female to 2 9-pin male connector. Okay, so you're going to plug that in right here. Okay, And we've got now 2 ports to fill. So the first port you're going to fill with this 8-bit DOE retro receiver, and this is the Sega Genesis version. And essentially you're feeding a Genesis wireless signal into your Seagull 78, which then submits it to the 7800. This product is designed to allow certain controllers wirelessly to connect with your, really it's for Genesis, but it's going to be to the 7800 now. So those different kinds of controllers it's compatible with happen to be PlayStation 3 controllers, PlayStation 4 controllers, Wii U Pro controllers, actually the Wii Remote, and an Xbox One wireless controller that happens to be the Bluetooth version. So anyways, lots of different controllers are compatible with this, but the one I'm most interested in connecting it with aren't those I just mentioned, but I'm going to be connecting a Switch Joycon. So I went out and purchased these. These are made by a company out of China called Kinvoca. So Kinvoca basically makes controllers that have the capability of being direct plugged into a micro USB power supply. The ones made by Nintendo, the first party Joy-Cons, don't have that feature. Since I don't actually own a Switch as of right now, I thought, well, I probably, since these have that port and the original first party controllers don't, I'm going to get the ones that do. Kinvoca controllers happen to have that. You're not going to connect the left Joy-Con, but the right Joy-Con to this wirelessly. So essentially, in order to get it connected, you press this button. Okay, we're going to press that. It'll start blinking quickly. Hold it for 4 seconds. There we go. And now we're connected. Okay. So there you go. That's how you connect that. So this is going to represent the second button of your 7800 right here. That one. And then into this, you're going to be plugging your Hyperkin Ranger. And this will represent button number 1 for your Atari 7800 games. So you're going to plug that right in here. Now, the real question you're probably wondering is how in the world are you going to connect these? I kind of want it so that this would be on the right side. I like the stick on the right side, but you could do it the other way if you want the stick on the left side. But you want to somehow figure out a way to connect them. One of the ways I thought initially of doing it was connecting this to the back and then pressing it with the index finger to hit that button, and then this thumb for this button. And that can potentially work. I have an idea that's using some sort of magnet to do this, but as of right now, I'm going to use my this method, which is essentially another method where I'm going to be using an index finger up here and a thumb here, and it will be mounted with a special connector. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the connector, make all this come together so that they are solidly connected to one another. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to get for your Hyperkin Ranger is a mount, and this basically is designed for cell phone cameras, basically camera use, or a tripod. I found this without the tripod for about $6 on Amazon plus the shipping. I saw this also on eBay, but it was shipped from Asia, which was going to take forever, and it was only $1.35 plus I think $3 shipping or something like that. But anyways, I got it from Amazon. All right, so what you're going to want to do is take your plug for your Hyperkin Ranger and feed it through there. All right, once you've got that through there, you're going to unlink that from the top and just have it coming out the middle. Okay, and then you can see it doesn't exactly fit, but that's not going to really be a big deal. One thing you want to be sure of is that if you're going to be using it as a right stick controller, you switch it to the RS side, and then it shouldn't be on paddle, it should be on stick mode. It says P mode and S mode. You want it on S mode. Now, while it's in here, sometimes those switches can get switched, and that's one nice thing about having it loose. You can lift it up, get in there with a little mini screwdriver and click it one way or the other. Do the same here. So anyway, nextly what you're going to do is to get these little Velcro straps. These were designed for musicians, so they're pretty narrow, and that's kind of a good thing, actually. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get those looped and connected through here. All right, so we got the first one connected. You can see it went through there, and it went over the silver bar here. Second one, just same way. So it's now on the frame pretty well, and not going anywhere. I would say it's pretty tight. So I went to a local hardware store here in Central Ohio. It's called Zeller Hardware, and they had a cupboard door magnet kit. Okay, and I'm showing that to you here in this footage. In that kit is a little plate. Okay, and it's got some holes in it, but the holes don't really matter. So you're going to take this plate and find a way to connect it here, and I found a good way. And that's through those magnets that I removed from that cabinet door magnet piece. I just broke it open and pulled these out. So when they're connected like that, you can just put them right on the edge of this. See how I did that? And then center this up, and it holds it really, really nice and solidly, very tight. Just slide it a little bit. Okay. So yeah, once it's on there, it's held very well. Okay, so now what you want to do is to take an elastic band, and you're going to connect the switch controller to this, and you want it this direction. So let's remove this right for now. We'll go ahead and unattach these. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the Velcro straps detached from each other, from one side to the other. We're going to take the cord and we're going to put it so that it's facing down and behind there. No longer up there. Then you want to take the elastic band, and we're going to feed this through between the controller and that metal part of the frame. Okay, so once you've done that, now we're going to take the take this strap, Velcro strap, through that end, like that. And then this still should be protruding out. And on this side, we'll have it in the middle, between the Velcro straps. Okay, go ahead and put it in there. There we go. Looks pretty even. It might be a little loose, so let's tighten it some more. Okay. So on the back side, you can see we've got it on the outside of the Velcro. And on the front side, we've got it on the inside. So, and now we've got the elastic band ready to receive the, first magnet plate controller. Going to go like this, and go ahead and do this side first, around the thumbstick. Then the other side comes secondly, around and over the thumbstick, like that. Okay, looking pretty nice. I'd say we got it pretty stable here. Looks Definitely looks nice. One more thing real quick here. Let's flip this over. One thing I'm noticing, this swivels a little bit too much when it's like this, but I've found out that if you stretch it beyond and click it right over the edge of that metal plate, like so, that it moves a little less. It's a little bit more of a stable platform. And you know, when you're playing your game, you're going to be pressing down on that button, so it's not going to be, you're not going to have to worry about it being unstable, but you want it as stable as possible. So yeah, I think this is going to work really well. All right, there you go. All right, we've got Motorcycle on our 7800. This is a 2-button game. The primary button will be the accelerator. This button will be the launch you in the air button. Okay, jump. Let's take a ride. Yikes. Okay, let me get back up and running here. This game has a very familiar look. It has that pole position look to it, with the added fun of jumps. And it even has little ramps, it has pylons in the road, and the jump button takes you up sailing through the air. All right, now we get to see if we can not run off the road here. And that's one of the ramps that they put in the middle of the road. If you happen to hit it at the wrong time, it could send you sailing in the wrong direction, so we got to be careful with those. And hitting the pylons just slows you down just a smidge. Okay, we're going to move on to the next game. Just again, a demonstration of how we're going to be having a second button to play the game. This is Commando, another favorite of mine, definitely a fun game. I will say, I thought of maybe trying to connect the Switch controller to regular Atari controllers, 2600 controllers, just to add the second button function, just like I'm doing here. But what I found with this setup is it doesn't work, okay? The control always constantly wants to drive up and to the left. So I'm just letting you know, if you thought, hey, I want to try that, don't bother. I already tried it. So just for some reason, this Hyperkin Ranger has this magical quality of working with all this stuff plugged in. So it's interesting. Ah. There's my grenade. So the second button function definitely works in every application. There we go. Ah. Oh, okay, fun game. All right. Oh yeah, and another thing I want to mention is that I designed this so that it's really, really easy to take it and remove the Hyperkin Ranger from the frame. And just undoing the Velcro straps enables you to just pull it straight on out. And you just set the frame aside, and let's say you want to play some paddle games without the frame attached. That's pretty easy to do. So I just definitely, I wanted to explain to you that this frame is designed for easy removal of both components and both parts. When you remove them, the frame still stays intact because of the magnet. And I think it's a neat idea. I'm definitely going to be employing this on my 5200 to see how maybe using a Master Play clone adapter would work with this Hyperkin Ranger on the two-player 5200 games. This should work, and maybe this could be a whole lot of fun for playing games where you want to have the right hand functioning with the thumb on the stick as opposed to the left hand. For a game like Pole Position, I might prefer the left thumb on the left stick. And for games like, let's say, Dreadnought Factor, or let's say Centipede, I would probably want the thumb on the right doing the thumbstick action. It's a really neat controller in that they allowed you to flip it to either side. I don't know of hardly any right-handed thumbstick controllers on the market. There's very few. And so this is the real benefit of the Hyperkin Ranger, in my opinion. And the paddle is, kind of a secondary thing. I like the paddle. It's if you'd like to have your whole hand on a paddle, the Atari 2600 paddles are really the way to go. This only allows you to get a couple fingers on the paddle and not grasp it with all fingers. So be aware, there's maybe a downside. There's an adapting factor involved when playing with the Hyperkin Ranger paddle on the Atari 2600 paddle games. But it's still nevertheless a very nice controller, and I really like the way they contoured the back. When I hold this, it feels great in the hands. It really does. I love the way it feels, and I would definitely recommend this for any of you out there who want to play some games, and putting the frame with it lets you do some extra fun things. All right, if you liked our episode, definitely give me a thumb up and comment below. If you have any new ideas for Wired Up Retro, something innovative you've come up with that you want to share with me, I'm all ears. And definitely subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. And I look forward to hearing your comments below and joining in. I do have a Twitter account. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, I'll definitely look at your Twitter account and make sure I like it, and then I'll friend you back on that. Another thing I have is a Patreon account. If you want to contribute to my channel for the purpose of me buying additional things that I might be able to experiment with, I greatly appreciate that. All right, so I hope you have a good time gaming out there for the rest of your summer. I will look forward to getting back with you in the next couple of weeks with another episode, this one having to do with the Atari 5200. Okay, guys, take care.